The following announcement has been paid for by the Boss Salad Tosser. Welcome to the House of Phil on Fire Edition. Phil says you bring the peanut butter and I'll bring the jam. Boom shakalaka.
Hello, hello. Welcome to The Grind. And this is a different version of The Grind, but here I am going to be reading stuff about the business. The grind, what is the grind? The grind is basically the people who do independent contractor work. It is almost a 24/7 type of gig, and everyone is trying to make it. They try and make it to that great apple pie in the sky. And today we're going to be talking about this article over here, which is social media influencers aren't getting rich, they're barely getting by. This is an article that is found in the Wall Street Journal. You can subscribe to read the whole thing. I'm going to read the first part and give my little depth about it because I was asked to. All right. So here we go. And this is by Sarah E. Neeleman and I guess Anna Marie, I can't say this last name, Alcantara. I probably said that wrong. Okay. So it goes like this. Many people dream of becoming social media stars like YouTube Mr. Beast and that TikTok broad Charlie D'Amelio. But for most who pursue the career as content creator, just making ends meet is a lofty goal. Okay? Fair. Clint Bentley has been a full-time creator for 3 years, posting videos on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, where he comments on news and trends related to the online game Fortnite. Despite having more than 400,000 followers and posts that averaged about 100,000 views, his income last year was less than the median annual pay for full-time work, or I should say, for full-time U.S. workers in 2023, which is $58,084, based off of the Bureau of Labor Statistics data. The 29-year-old is hesitant to commit to an apartment lease because the money he gets, mainly from online tips and sponsorship deals, arise randomly and could vanish at any moment. For now, he's living with his mom in Washington State. I am vulnerable, he says. Earning a decent, reliable income as a social media creator is a slog, and it's getting harder. Platforms are doling out less money for popular posts, and brands are being pickier about what they want out of sponsorship deals. The real possibility of TikTok potentially shutting down in 2025 is adding to creators' anxiety over whether they can afford to stick with a job. And I'm glad this article said it's a job and not some bullshit gig or whatever for the long haul. Okay. So, let me get into my issues with the article. And like I said, there's more information about the article if you go to the Wall Street Journal. There you can read more about it and get more info and have a little bit more perspective. It gets more into some of the people who are making funds. Some are making $400 to $500 a month, which to me is amazing because I would love to make $400 to $500 a month. That will be fucking awesome. Okay, that will add to the money I already get from the other stuff that I am doing. Some are making $2,000 a month. Okay, and some are making $4,000 a month, and it's kind of weird because the article makes it seem like, and it's just weird that making $4,000 a month, and I gotta really put this in perspective, making $4,000 a month from your home, from your chair, no different from this chair, or from your couch, is not that much money. Okay? Especially if that's the only thing you're doing. It's not that much money if you have a mortgage. Because if you have a mortgage, yeah, that's going to be a struggle. But if you are like Clint here, who have anxiety about, he don't want to sign a lease because he's not sure when the deal is going to dry up. you know, even like $1,000 would seem like a lot of money. But all this depends on which this article then go into, you know, the like was his expenses, because it doesn't say if he's paying rent or not. He's living in his mother's house in Washington State. What are his expenses? How much is he actually getting every month? The fact that this dude got a sponsorship deal, which a lot of people wouldn't mind having, even if they're doing a part-time sponsorship deal is better than no sponsorship deal. I gotta sit there and point that out, okay? But like I said, this is the business that I don't know about, because I do multiple things. If you're making money and it's a lot of work, this stuff is not easy. Let me sit here and say that it is not easy. But if you're not making that much money, but your monthly expenses is not that much, which is, you're not paying rent, you're not going out and partying up. You know what I'm saying? You living pretty regular. You know what I'm saying? Even $1,000 would seem like a lot of money. Is it enough for you to move out on your own? No, but it is money from doing something that you potentially like or love, I should say, with the possibility of you jumping into other revenues to bring in the income. And as I pointed out, this article in the beginning, it says this person, Clint, is only doing news and stuff on Fortnite. It's not saying games, like a variety of games in general. It's just saying Fortnite. Okay? All right. No different from the next guy. Probably the only difference is that they might be more relatable than the other person that's reporting the news and all that. Or they have a different style and all that to draw newer people to their page. And they got 400,000 followers. That's a lot. That's a lot without no tournaments. It's not saying that they're going to tournaments. It's not saying they enter a tournament. They're not even saying tournament wins or going to events. It's basically doing stuff from their home. Got to bolt out content. And again, some bucks based off of the ad revenue. This article is pretty. It gives a good depth about this part of the business. I like it, but at the same time, it doesn't give enough about what these guys are actually doing outside of just making content, or they just spend their whole day making content with no exit plan, because it journalism. People write for Kotaku and Rock Paper Shotgun are facing layoffs and getting dropped left and right like flies. Like I don't know. I'm pretty sure content creators are not bringing in the bucks like that, especially if the online news world is pretty random and a little bit too quick to say news without the evidence or the fact checking to back it up. So I can see with the content creator thing being a pretty rough avenue, and And I'm still sticking to the very beginning of this article. I wish it went more into this person's life, their expenses, what they're doing outside of just making Fortnite content. Because, when people ask me what I do, I say, well, I help people move. I shop for people groceries. I drop off their groceries and I take arcades to conventions. Okay. And all that stuff is a grind. It's a lot of stuff to get to this one place. In fact, the one thing I wish they really, really went into with Clint is how much debt are you tallying up while you wait for your next payment? That is a hard hitting question right there, because that's the one thing that a lot of these articles they miss. They don't ask that type of question. How much debt do the person build up? Because if you living with roommates, or you're not living home, or you gotta pay rent, and you depend on the sponsorship deals and all that stuff, there's no way you're not using a credit card or accumulating back payment or debt while you try to get these funds to make ends meet. Okay, so it's been all about 11 minutes. I am going to end it here. And I ended with that question, which is probably the most important question of all, and which a lot of these articles go into more about that. How much debt are these guys are accumulating while they wait for the next payout? Because some people, in this article, it says some of them make like $400 to $500 a month, which to me is amazing, because I'm not making that, and I don't got no one following this shit. Whereas other people, they make $2,000 a month, and they live in their fucking van, and that's only their income. There's two people, one person making this, another person can be making a different type of income, or bring in another source of income that will help out with around their lifestyle / living. This is Boss Salvatosser. This is The Grind. I'm hoping to do more stuff like this in the future. Have a good one.